Hey, how's it going, everybody? My name is Drew Creal, and in this video what I wanted to do is read some of my viewer comments. This is the first time that I've done something like this. I've been on YouTube since 2008, and to be honest, I haven't really invested a lot of time or energy into my channel. I've put together quite a few videos, but my goal for this year was to put out a video every week, and so far I've been doing that for the most part. But what I wanted to do is just read some of the comments that I get on my channel. Most of the comments that I get are really friendly comments, very complimentary. People are very kind to me. Occasionally I'll get a really angry or mean comment, but that's kind of few and far between from my experience. So thank you everybody that's out there watching my videos and supporting my channel. I can't thank you enough. It's really fun to be able to interact with people this way, as strange as it may be. I do prefer in-person interactions and conversations, but this is a way for me to talk to people who are interested in the same stuff as me. So that's why I'm here. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so I'm gonna start with my most recent comment, which is from Only1Y. Anyway, it says, "Mine is due to arrive tomorrow. Many thanks for confirming that I made the right choice." So this is on one of my most viewed videos that's happened in the last year or so. I've got an amp about the THR10ii. It's kind of like this. It's actually the same amp, but this is the 30-watt version. That particular video has really helped my channel grow quite a bit. Over the last year, there's been quite a few people that have watched that video, and I think it's because many people throughout the world are in quarantine and they need a good sounding amp that they can play through in their bedroom at low volume. So the Yamaha THR, in my opinion, is the best amp out there. There's quite a few other options, but to me, that's the best sounding bedroom practice amp on the market today. Anonymous says, "Is the power supply 100 or 240 volts?" I'm gonna have to look that up. Someone that commented on my Fraz Dazzler 8-string video says, "Obscenities, nice ones though." I dig that. That's great. Okay, another comment from Paul Johnson on 5 cool ways to use the Yamaha THR10ii. He said, "I just ordered that exact amp yesterday for my birthday. Can't wait to play it when it comes in the mail this Saturday." That's awesome, man. It's a great amp. I think you're going to be happy with it. Like I said, I've played quite a few of the other bedroom practice amps, and the THR is literally the best. It's the best one on the market. Okay, in my how to gent palm muting and right hand technique for rock and metal video, Seb says, "Like the fact that you went back and sideways on gent. Don't forget Afro-Cuban and African beats, which are a huge foundation, or should I say, known to using these rhythmic break beats. Great video, cheers." So just putting in some good information into that video. I guess I wasn't that aware that gent had any ties to Afro-Cuban beats or African rhythms, but just in general in the United States and in the Western world, modern music, that being rock, pop, metal, all of that stuff has rhythmic influences from Africa. And to be completely honest, it's hard to be involved in any type of music and not be influenced by African rhythms. I mean, they're just so much a part of modern music. So great point. All right, and so at this time I would like to open a little bit of mail. This mail was not sent to me by anyone that views the channel. This is just something cool that I found online. Some of you know that Liturgy is my favorite metal band, one of my favorite modern metal bands, favorite modern black metal band. So I'm gonna open up something that I ordered from them a couple weeks ago just to share, because I think this stuff is cool. And I like the way these shirts looked. So first shirt that I got is this Liturgy Aesthetica shirt. So check it out. Pretty sick. So this was probably, for the longest time, was my favorite album by them. I mean, all of her stuff is really amazing. And then this is the HAQQ album, Hawk, I guess. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but very fascinating. Very fascinating album. I think it's sonically innovative. Just an incredibly beautiful album, and I would encourage everybody to check them out. So, all right, back to the comments. So I've got a comment on my "Does the Yamaha THR30 sound good with pedals?" video. So Chris says, "Could you do a video of how to record a dry signal in Logic with this, please? I tried earlier but found the options confusing." So I think he's asking for how to record with the Yamaha THR to send a dry signal. I actually have not done that yet. I've only done the affected signal, but I happen to have my THR remote open right here. So let me see if I can't figure that out for him right now on the spot. Okay, so inside the THR remote app, there is this little control panel that you can open by pressing this little settings cog over here. You click on that, and then guitar DI mode, you actually check this little box here, and it should be the thing that sends the dry signal to your interface, so that you can just use amp simulators and things like that. So Chris, I hope that answers your question. You'll just want to go into this THR remote app and click that record dry signal mode. So that's how you do that. All right, moving on to the next question. This is in my 5 cool ways to use the Yamaha THR video. He says, "Can the Yamaha be used as an interface for amp sims?" Yes, I actually just explained that. You'll want to use that dry record mode that I just mentioned or showed you how to do, and then you can use whatever amp sims that you want. Okay, in my How to Gent video at minute 650, Jeremiah Daniel says 650 pretty says it all. I'll have to look back and see what that was. Okay, so another comment in my "Does the Yamaha THR30 sound good with pedals?" Nope says, "Thanks for the review and love your legato. Are you a big AH dude too? Thinking about buying the THR30, but have you used the Line 6 relay with it? Subscribed." So thanks a lot for that comment. I am a huge Alan Holdsworth fan. Huge influence on my guitar playing, guitar sound, and just how I think about chords and harmony and writing. So I think the THR30 would be a great practice amp for you. I'd even go as far as to say you could use it as your main amp if you only had to buy one thing, or if I could give away all of my Line 6 stuff and my Digitech stuff and just have one thing, I would just use this amp if I was limited to that. So yes, and I use the wireless transmitter all the time. It's right here. It's in my guitar. So and it sounds great. There's a couple times where it's been kind of noisy, so I've switched to a cable, but in general it works really great. Okay, next comment. Gray Colors asks, "Did you try the THR30 with speakers opened or focused?" So the way I have my THR set up, it has the little dot on top next to the tuner, and that's how I have it set up. And I think I did that by holding the tuner button down, and I think what that means is that the speakers are set to open, so it's got the open back kind of sound. That's just how I have it set up. I don't really notice that much of a difference, but maybe you guys do. Let's see here. On my Doom Metal and the Fender Bassman 300 Pro video, Jordan Seacrest says, "Put a warning first. You almost destroyed my phone." I actually do have a warning, and it says "Warning, loud bass amp" at the beginning. So if you don't like to follow warning signs, that's why your ears got blasted. Sorry about that, Jordan. Okay, in my How to Gent video, Pretty Good Baguette says, "So far, Gent, I need a noise gate, a tube screamer, and then the amp. because I have the most basic Fender amp with very little sound settings and no pedals or anything, because playing muted strings pretty much just sounds like nothing so far. So it sounds like he's got some kind of Fender amp. To be honest, your quickest way to get a nice Gent tone is to get like a Line 6 Spider or one of these Yamaha amps. I mean, I have a whole video about how to get five different crushing metal tones. So check that video out. Maybe that'll help you if you're interested in getting a Yamaha. But if you're using like an older tube amp or something like that, usually people are using an already high gain amp, like a PV6505, 5150 type of amp, and then they use the noise gate tube screamer combination, and that's what I used for a long time. I used to play in a band called As Hell Retreats, and back then that was my exact setup. All Boss pedals. I think I had a tuner, a noise gate, and I used the Super Overdrive actually into the PV6505, and that was a crushing sound. So in another question, 5 cool ways to use the Yamaha THR10ii. Sion Buckley asked, can you use both Bluetooth and the guitar at the same time? Yes, you can. That's what the amp is designed for, is to jam along with music. So you can sync up your iPad to the amp via Bluetooth, and then you can play your guitar wirelessly or plugged in, and you can jam along with backing tracks, drum grooves, anything. And I use this every day when I teach lessons and when I'm teaching at school. This is the amp that comes everywhere with me. So okay, let's do one more. On my shredding on my Kiesel Vader guitar video, Clan of House Cats says, interesting tone and guitar. The Kiesel headless seems cool to own. Really looking at an Ormsby Goliath though when they start manufacturing again. So I think what he or she is trying to say is that they are currently not manufacturing Ormsby guitars. Maybe they're just backed up. Maybe COVID has affected their factory practices. I'll have to look into that. As far as I can tell, you could still order a Kiesel, and they don't seem to be as affected by a lot of other companies with their factory. Probably because they're a small American company and they don't have to adhere to any laws. And I would venture to bet that working in a factory in a pandemic is actually a pretty safe place, because people are, usually not stacked not right on top of each other. We're not in the 1920s where people are standing next to each other on an assembly line. From the videos I've seen of the Kiesel factory and other guitar factories, people are spread out. They're in their own little corner. So thanks for checking out this video, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much.